Back when I did Donkey Kong 64, I had asked a question as to why out of all the N64 Rare platformers, why is DK64 the black sheep of the Rare family? I asked this more as a question to you guys, but I think it got kinda lost in the review. It was the only 10th thing I had written for the channel, so excuse my then inexperience, but I brought it up since I was curious to see what you people thought, especially when it came to comparing it to something like Banjo Kazooie. Because without a doubt, when it comes to the N64 and the PS1 era of 3D platformers, Banjo Kazooie is considered by many to be #1, and I'm not gonna argue that. It improved a lot of the standards that Super Mario 64 had established a couple of years earlier, mixed in with its colorful and vibrant worlds and characters with a rare charm and campy comedy, and no doubt it was something special. That I missed out on originally. Yeah, I'm not gonna pretend I have childhood memories on this game, cause I kinda don't. I mean, I knew about Banjo Kazooie. He was the character I used to actually defeat Wizpig for the first time in Diddy Kong Racing. And I do remember playing a demo of Spiral Mountain at the local Walmart. Yeah, remember when places besides Best Buy had game stations to try out demos? But Banjo Kazooie was just one of those games that I didn't get to try out until years later. I don't own any Xbox systems, so even after I lost my original N64, I didn't really have access to this one. It wasn't until a couple years ago where I started building up my N64 collection again that I decided to finally pick it up. And it lived up to the hype. I couldn't put this game down. I loved it. I indulged it. I became one with it. Pretty much I would be repeating just about everything most people would say about this game. But if there's one thing that Banjo Kazooie did for me more than anything else, was it actually made me appreciate Donkey Kong 64 a lot more. Now, I know some jaws might have dropped by me saying that, but it's true. Now, I'm not going to get into gaming politics about why one is better than the other, because honestly, I like both equally. They both have their pros and cons, but from what I saw, there was little improvements that you could tell Rare learned from, such as not losing all your notes if you die. Good, that took some getting used to. Having to rework my collecting plans was surprisingly tricky to adjust to, especially when Banjo at points really tried to go out of its way to kill you, like that fucking alligator minigame. Oh, there was some swearing and an urge to wheel that controller. It just felt so cheap because you couldn't see the whole arena, and every time you failed, the fucking prick would make you take damage as a penalty. Mix it in with limited lives, and oh man, that was fucking ridiculous. Losing and having to start over from the beginning should have been enough. But speaking of ridiculous, why the hell did they think it was a good idea to have honeycomb hives have bees in them that could sting you later on in the game? Like, dick, move. But that's what I meant about this game making me appreciate DK64 a lot more. Cause while that game had its own problems to deal with, which I made sure to point out in my review, fucking Beetle, fucking Rabbit, fucking Dealer Bother, I'm good. But it was nice to see that they at least got rid of that aspect of Banjo where the game's going out of its way to kill you. Which I'm guessing I wasn't the only one to feel that way, since apparently the remaster fixed some of those issues like not losing all your notes if you die. Cause to me those little things are definitely what slowed the game down for me. Now I know some of you will say, well, the things you just mentioned is what helped provide more of a challenge for this game. And I won't dismiss that argument. Just I felt the best way to make a collectathon more challenging is to make the collectibles a challenge to get. Thankfully Banjo Kazooie does that. Just I felt it went a little overboard on trying to punish players at times for no good reason. But the things I talked about are kind of minor and nitpicks in the grand scheme of things, and in no way takes away from the brilliance that was Banjo Kazooie. This is a game that I've come back to at least 5 times since the 2 years I've owned it, and will continue to do so a lot more in the future. If you have not played this game, do yourself a favor and play it. You will not regret it.